If you have an audience and they're really engaged and the pain point is deep, you build a community on school, you're guaranteed to make money. Guaranteed.
You showed me your phone recently. Every month, you went from like 3K to 16K to 20K and what, 100K?
Just knew it was like, for me, it was like instantly, this is what I need. This is what's gonna get me out of 2 or 3K a month. I didn't have much money in my bank then. I had less than like 3K in my bank. Not that it was, but scheme came because, oh wow, you can take me from 3K a month to 20K a month in like 90 days. Wow. I was like,
All right, we are out here with Farhoon in Belfast, Ireland, at a school mastermind. I met Farhoon 8 months ago when you were just launching. You were working with entrepreneurs and Carr and our team. Can you introduce yourself and tell the people how your journey has been from 8 months, how that looked for you to now?
of course. So, first of all, thanks for having me on here. Secondly, so I had a business for a year in 2023 where I was helping international students get jobs, and I was doing it pure commission basis. So I'd only charge them after they got a job. So I basically wouldn't make money if they didn't get a job. As I was doing that, I documented all of my strategies, how I got students jobs on LinkedIn, and I grew a following from 0 to 25K in a year. And as we were growing, I knew I had a big potential with LinkedIn, and I knew I could monetize the audience. So I Googled, and at the end of November, I Googled how to monetize a community. And like the first few searches that came up were, one of that was Ted's video, was how I make 50K MRR through a paid community on school. I was like, that's very interesting. I clicked on that, saw Ted's video, and I was like, that looks really interesting. I need this exact model for my audience, because I know these people are so hungry, so engaged, this will work. I just knew it was like, for me, it was like instantly, this is what I need. This is what's gonna get me out of 2 or 3K a month. So I messaged Ted on Instagram, I messaged him on school, messaged Kuba as well. I basically messaged everyone on their team saying, yo, I want to work with you guys. I need to set this up ASAP. I didn't have much money in my bank then. I had less than like 3K in my bank. All of my students would pay me in installments after they got a job. So I was basically waiting on cash to come in. Basically, what I did was I messaged Ted, messaged Kuba, messaged loads of people on social media. I never heard back. And I kept messaging until I heard back. And finally, I had one call with Kuba. Then I had a call with Aman in your team as well. And I still wasn't convinced sold on the program. I was like, I'm not sure if it's going to work. Is it a scam? Because that's what you hear about coaching programs, right? I was very skeptical, right? I was like, I don't know. Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? It seemed a bit scammy, to be honest. Not that it was, but it seemed scammy because, oh, wow, you can take me from 3K a month to 20K a month in like 90 days. Wow. I was like, I'm shutting down one business with my co-founder, so I just need to make 2K a month, but these guys are promising me 20K a month. That was a big promise. So what I did was I was like, look, if I'm going to work with these guys, I'm going to work with the top guy, right? I'm going to work with Ted. I was like, okay, cool. How do I get Ted to work with me? So I jumped on a weekly Q&A call in his free community on Saturday, and I said, yo, Ted, I spoke to Kuba. I'm really excited to join, but I'm not sure if it's going to work for me, but I want to work with you. If I work with you, my chances are maximized. And he's like, bro, if you pay on the call right now, I'll work with you. I was like, if I pay right now, will you work with me? He's like, yep, I'm saying it on record. I will work with you. So I whipped my phone up. Aman sent me the link and I paid. And he's like, yeah, let's do it, bro. And then next 3 to 4 days, he optimized everything from my lead magnet to the funnel, everything. My school community, organizing the courses there. We did everything in 3 to 4 days. Had me craft my offer as well. And in my first month, I hit 16 to 17K USD, so 12K British pounds. Absolutely insane. I was barely making like 3K British pounds. So I was making less than 4K a month. So I basically 3x or so my revenue.
Yeah,
and it was mostly profit because I hired one person in and they were like a VA, $700 a month, £500 a month, which is absolutely insane.
If you want to make money as a content creator, make sure to check the free guide below that shows you how to do it and get started today. Let's get back into the video.
In summary, if you have an audience and they're really engaged and the pain point is deep and you build a community on school, you're guaranteed to make money. Guaranteed, if you have an audience. If you don't have an audience, you can still make money. But if you have an audience and they're engaged and they love your work, you're guaranteed gonna hit 10K a month in your first month. So that was my takeaway. And then since then, I've scaled from 16, I was 17K or say in my first month. Second month was similar because I traveled 17K. Third month was around 30K. May I hit 65K. And then August I hit 100K. And now 9 months in, like I'm traveling the world. So I was in the US, Hungary, Portugal, Bosnia, Pakistan, Ireland now. So it's crazy. That's how fast you can actually grow if you actually do the work. I hope that gives you a good summary.
Yeah, that was a really good summary. I remember the first call I had with you. Now that you mention it, you were kind of skeptical. You're like, I don't know, and you were asking all these questions, and I was showing you like the overall strategy. You're like, should that make sense? I could tell your brain was like, this makes sense, but you weren't sure. You were skeptical for sure. So that's amazing that you thought this could be a scam, to doing it, and you started making 16K USD your first month, and then you like kept scaling. You showed me your phone recently. Every month by month, you went from like 3K to 16K to 20K and what, 100K?
11.25K. That's around 15K or so back when they exchanged it. 15 to 16K. So I was wrong. Actually, we had some money coming next month as well. So I had Stripe as well. So close to 11.5K British pounds. So between 15 and 16K USD first month. So 12K roughly. Closer on 16K. I was wrong. And then 15K British pound, 28K British pound, 24K British pound. This is money in. 25K in May.
This is month by month.
Month by month. And it's 25K May because we processed through school and all of that money came in June. So from January, which was 12K, to May, or June when we went 62K, that's in pounds. That is a 5x. That's 5x in 6 months.
In 6 months, 5x for the first result that you got, the 12K after working with us.
Yeah.
And that was already 5K of what you were making on your
That was already 3x, yeah.
3x.
3x in 1 month, then 5x in the next
That's
month.
amazing, bro.
Yeah.
You mentioned something about if you have a big audience, or even if you have a smaller audience, you could start making money, but if you have a bigger audience, it's easier. But you mentioned if you can help them overcome the pain point. What does that mean? What does that look like, helping someone overcome a pain point? Because I think that's super important.
100%. So it's all about understanding who you're trying to help and what you're trying to help them with. So I help international students get jobs in the UK. So everything I post on social media solves their struggles, which is struggles with their CV, with their LinkedIn, with their cover letter, with their interview prep, with everything. And if you help them at every stage of the process, they're going to look at you as an authority figure. They will want to give you money to solve their deep and burning problem. Simple as that. So it could be anything. It could be chronic pain. It could be not having the right body, not having the right mental health, not having a girlfriend, not having a boyfriend. It could be anything. If you solve a problem for your customer, they will give you money. And the way you get them to pay you money is you keep solving their problems for free until they're like, here's my money. You are so good. I want you to solve this problem for me. I had a problem. I was not monetizing my audience. You guys have solved my problem for me. And I paid you guys money. That's how simple it is.
That's amazing. I'm just curious, what do you do when you travel? Now that you're traveling, why did you start traveling? And then maybe you could tell us where people can find you.
I've been traveling for 4 months now. In June, I was in Vegas. June, I was in Hungary, then US, then Pakistan, then Bosnia, then London, now Ireland. I went back and forth between England and Pakistan. But anyways, long story short, I've been in 5 countries past 4 months or so. One thing I've learned is it's really hard to scale a business and travel. So people that show off that lifestyle, they are traveling for work and they're not enjoying their traveling. So I've enjoyed the experiences, but I've enjoyed it like to 1% of what it could be. So even right now, I was calling up my teammate, my head of coaching, and he's at the hotel working. So I need to go and continue working until 9-10 p.m. And it gets to the point where you just get addicted to results. And if you're addicted to results and progress, you won't want to have fun. So I genuinely look at people having fun and I'm like, these guys are looking for escape because they're not seeing the progress in their work life. And you got to keep the grinding until you start seeing results and it becomes addictive. So my advice is, well, I'm going back to London now and I'm going to be there for 3 weeks. And yeah, you shouldn't be traveling more than, you should be in one place 1 month as a minimum. So I was in Bosnia for 2 months. Like, why was I in Bosnia? Because I just wanted to lock in and like my food, my cleaning, everything. Laundry was just sorted and I was just literally just working. So yeah, you can't do both. You probably want to get to a point where you've got consistent revenues in, you've got a team that you trust. That's when you can travel like Ted does. Ted's been at the game for like 6 to 8 years. He's built the systems up. But yeah, you can't do both. You got to choose one thing. And also, being broke is hard, being rich is hard. I deal with so many problems these days. I've never been this stressed. And people can tell it when they meet me. They're like, this guy is perpetually fucking stressed. They know it. People know it. But it's the price I'm paying as well. Because I see with most people on school, everyone is very, very smart and very on it. But people would be happy to hit 20K a month and kind of like consistently be at that number. I don't want to stagnate. I want to keep growing. I want to get to $1 million a month. And even then, before I get to $1 million a month, I'll be thinking of what do I do now? Do I go software? Because I enjoy seeing progress. So if you want to grow up and you've got big ambitions, the price you pay is always being stressed, always thinking of work, not enjoying the fun stuff. And yeah, just being obsessed over it. So big goals are great to have, but the price you pay is just never switching off. You can never switch off. That's it. That's my advice. You cannot dream big and not be willing to put the work in. Otherwise, you're acting in contradiction to your goals. That makes sense.
Dude, that's deep, bro. That hits me because I got the temptations in Mallorca, like the fun and stuff. But I know I went to Poland this summer. I'm like, I just gotta work, and I was just working, and then until I started seeing family and stuff, and I got so distracted, I lost my flow, and it's hard to get back into the flow. So I see you're just in the flow no matter where you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much, Farhoon, bro,
No
for
worries,
being
bro.
here,
Thanks
man.
for having me, bro.
Pleasure.
Sure.
Where can people find you, connect with you?
Of course, if you want to connect with me, you can follow me on LinkedIn. You can copy my LinkedIn post word for word and apply them to your audience. If you want to message me on Instagram, I've got a small Instagram account, Farhoon.asim. I've got another account as well, Farhoon_asim, but you probably won't get a reply back from there because I've got sales guys messaging people to book calls. But if you message me on Farhoon.asim, I will reply because I've got 700 followers. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And I wish you all the best. And remember, being broke is hard and being rich is hard. You got to pick your heart.
Yeah, you gotta pick your heart. My friend says it all the
100%.
time. Yeah. All right. Thank you, brother.
No worries, brother.
All right.
Great
Peace
chat.
out.